On today's wrestling news, an emotional Bray Wyatt breaks character on Smackdown.
A top WWE superstar swaps brands and becomes the new #1 contender for the IC title.
Got an injury update on Adam Cole.
And an AEW star returns on Rampage.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time? Yes, my name is Phil Chambers. I'm joined by Gareth Morgan to talk all things wrestling news. But before we get into it, make sure you like the video, comment down below what you think of each of today's stories, subscribe to the channel, and links to each story is in the description below, so click those timestamps and off you go. But first up, Bray Wyatt obviously returned at Extreme Rules and then came back on Smackdown last night as well. He's got his new entrance with the door that opens up. He's got new music by Code Orange again, obviously, of course it is. It kind of sounds like a bit from the movie Moon, that kind of soundtrack at the beginning of it, and then it goes into a kind of rocky thing. Kind of like it. There's obviously he comes out with the lantern and all the fireflies and everything like that, and then he gets in the ring. And he cuts a really emotional promo, which I don't think anyone was really expecting from Bray Wyatt at this point. There was obviously like big welcome back chants at the beginning of it. And then he just went in to say that he's sort of really, really grateful and really nervous to be there. He's like, this version of himself that he's doing right now is like the version that he's never been able to introduce before, because it's like his genuine self. And then he goes in to talk about the sort of year that he's had, how he lost his career, how he lost his confidence, how he lost two people who he was very, very close to, and he just generally lost his way. He thought everything that he'd done in the past was completely meaningless, but it turns out he was wrong, because he met people out there, the fans obviously, and some of the fans there said that they were in their darkest moments too, and he kind of saved their life through his words. And that's what the fans were to him at the same time. The fans saved his life. And before he could sort of continue on this path, he got interrupted by, I assume, himself on the big screen with that mask on. And the mask kind of just said a little poem, just going like, oh, little one, come with me, your life is done, forget the future, forget the past, life is over, breathe your last, you have no idea who you are dealing with, but you will. And it all cuts to black, and it got the little moth logo thing on it. So yeah, the new Bray Wyatt has debuted on SmackDown, and I kind of really, really like this. It's a new thing again that we've not seen from Bray Wyatt before, this kind of emotional, real side of himself. And like the debut of the new mask, that's going to be a bit of a new character for it. It's not just going back to the same Fiend stuff, which I kind of enjoy. It's something new, something a bit fresh. And if this is just going to be some kind of battle within himself, of him just wanting to be a good, normal person, but he's always kind of crowded and overshadowed by this darkness, I think that's a really interesting path to take for it.
Yeah, it really is, and I think there's an awful lot to unpack about this, where a lot of people were saying when Bray Wyatt returns, what do you do with him? Do you put him in there with somebody else? And he's got this kind of storied history where in the past sometimes people haven't come out of those feuds looking great if he's got all this supernatural stuff, and it's quite a sensitive and a difficult thing to handle. So I think it's quite inspired to pretty much have him feud with himself. That's why, like you just said there, he's pretty much feuding with, I believe it's the Uncle Howdy mask alter ego. We're not sure. There's been that's the name that's floating around the sphere right now, the internet. People saying backstage that persona is being referred to as Uncle Howdy, because WWE have filed a trademark for that. And then on top of this, I think a lot of people were quite worried that maybe we were just going to jump back into the riddled Wyatt, who was just going to stand there in the middle of the ring and say all these strange things about having the whole world in his hands, and it'd be a bit, I don't know, we're going back over old ground. But how foolish were we? This guy's one of the most creative people that have been present in WWE when he's not maybe had handcuffs on, not been pushed down certain avenues, that maybe when they've not just seen one thing and gone, yeah, do that and only do that. Like this guy, if he's given the freedom to be an absolute madman, a creative genius madman, which Triple H himself said on BT Sport a couple of weeks ago, you get stuff like this. Unexpected, moving, really genuinely moving at times, and then boom, flick the switch, and you've got, again, supernatural, a bit spooky, a bit weird, another new direction, which none of us can really see coming. So I'm intrigued. This definitely made me at ease. I was a bit worried coming into it. Salty was as well, as you can tell. He was growling, he was worried, but now feels like we're okay. Feels like we're in safe hands, because he's got the world in him. Yeah. He's got the whole world in him, Phil. But SmackDown was a big show, a massive show really, because a lot of stuff went down. Earlier on, well, literally at the start, the top of the show, Karrion Kross got smashed into by a car. It was almost a hit and run, but the running part didn't really happen because Drew McIntyre stuck around. He hit him with the car and then started beating the crap out of him, smashed him into the side of his Porsche, I think it was. And then Karrion Kross was expected to be in the main event. It was a fatal four-way for the number one contendership for the IC title. But jumping into another strand, these all come back together at the end of the show. Rey Mysterio was on SmackDown as well, and he just wanted a bit of a chat with Triple H. He said, I need to speak to you man to man, eye to eye, tell you I don't want to wrestle my son. There's a lot of stuff going down on Raw, and I feel like it's going to go that way if I stick around, so I'm probably going to have to quit, mate. And Triple H was like, whoa, you're the cover star of our video game, we can't have that. So dragged him into his office, said, come on, we'll figure something out. Later on in the night, we got to the main event, and obviously Karrion Kross had been battered, so he was not actually going to be in this match. And then it got to the point where he was going to be introduced and said, no, we've got a substitution, and Rey Mysterio's music played. He's now a SmackDown star. They came to some kind of agreement, so he's going to be on SmackDown. He's come home, as Michael Cole put it, and he only went and won the whole thing. He beat Ricochet. He did this insane, Ricochet like blocked a 619, caught him, and then Ray hit him with this like spin out pile driver and nearly killed Ricochet. I was just like, if you let Rey Mysterio do this on SmackDown for a couple of months, yeah, okay, I'm in. Buckle me up. I'm ready. Let's do this. Then he hit the 619. Then he hit the Viva La Raza frog splash. He's now the number one contender, and he's going to be facing Gunther for the IC title. Just do that. Just put those two men together and just. It's going to be ridiculous. This is a perfect matchup. Maybe the Judgment Day get involved, maybe they don't. Maybe Ray just wins the IC title and that's the whole thing. I don't know, but I'm excited. Another great development on SmackDown.
Yeah, this is really good fun, and I think with the Mysterios thing, more on that a little bit later in the Twitter questions maybe. But in terms of just like future for the IC title, Gunther versus Ray is an incredible matchup. Yeah. He's going to absolutely destroy his tiny little face. It's going to be incredible. The slaps of just him just chopping Rey Mysterio across the ring is just going to be absolutely amazing.
You're a bad man, Phil.
Cannot wait.
You're a bad man.
I can't wait. He's going to absolutely destroy him. It's the best. And it's like a hell of a sort of victory for Gunther in this title reign of like making the IC title more important again. Yep. He's a really, really good person, and like just the most babyface person you can possibly ever imagine in Rey Mysterio going up against Gunther, who's just going to destroy him. It's fantastic. Love it. Love every bit of it. Yeah. So yeah, can't wait. Looking forward to Gunther destroying Rey Mysterio way more than I should ever probably admit to.
Yeah.
But moving over to AEW for a bit, and a little bit of sad news, really. But this is about Adam Cole. Now, this is coming from the Wrestling Observer Radio yesterday. Apparently, there is real worries behind the scenes in AEW that Adam Cole might not make a full recovery from the concussion that he suffered at Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Now, Meltzer, his exact words were that he's got a real bad concussion. He'll be back when he's cleared. It could be tomorrow, and it could be never. You know what I mean? So it's one of those concussion things that we've had quite a few times in wrestling, sort of over the sort of past few years, where it's a really bad diagnosis, but it could be cleared real soon, but it could be one that just lingers on and on and on for a really, really long time. And obviously, best wishes to Adam Cole. Really, really hope he gets well really, really soon. He's an incredible talent, really, and just genuinely lovely guy by all accounts as well. So yeah, it's just sad news for Adam Cole.
Yeah, not much more to add to that. It's just horrible news, and you hope he gets. You hope he gets a bit of good luck, to be honest. He's not really got going properly. I know he's had a couple of world title matches, which sounds ridiculous to say somebody's not got going when they've had like end of the night pay-per-view matches.
But he's still got a lot more to offer.
Yeah, an awful lot, and he just seems like one of the nice guys. So here's to Adam Cole. Hopefully he's not even just back in the ring. Hopefully he's just feeling better at some point soon, because that's what's most important. And speaking of AEW news, we had a big development last night on Rampage, because a star who's been missing on AEW programming for a different reason, not because of injury, but because they just couldn't come to an agreement on a new deal because of the financial side of it. They just couldn't come to an agreement, so they parted ways. That person was Stu Grayson. That was in May. And obviously last night, the Dark Order were in a backstage segment with Renee Paquette, and of course there was an interruption, because of course there was. Jose, the assistant, came in and he was just giving him all kinds of flack. And then 10, he said, "Oh, well, I'm sick of this. Like, you're trying to bring me over to Andrade's crew. You know what? We're going to sort this once and for all next week. I'm going to take on Roosh in a match." And then as the crew went to put their hands together and go, "Yeah, claws in. Let's be the Dark Order," a bandaged hand came in and the camera panned back and, "Way, Stu Grayson." They were like, "Ah, you're back." And he was like, "Of course I'm back. I won't miss AEW AEW in Canada. So there's no real word yet on if this is going to be Stu Grayson back for good, if he's going to be back, like part of the Dark Order once again, or if it was just a one-off thing. It's like, yeah, they're back in Canada, woo. But Grayson has, obviously, he was part of AEW since Double or Nothing 2019. He last wrestled for AEW in April of this year. Since then, he's made 9 independent appearances. Most of these came in Canada, and he's also got a couple more dates coming up in the future. So again, not a lot of certainty over what's going to go down with the future in terms of him in AEW, but for a nice moment, a bit of a surprise, nothing wrong with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, again, not much more to add. It's just a nice little moment for Stu Grayson, and we hope we get to see a lot more of him in the future, let's say. But let's finish the video with your Twitter questions. The first one, speaking of Rey Mysterio, comes from Great Gatsby, who says, could you see Papa H at WrestleMania 39 making Rey and Dominic do a father versus son match with Rey's career on the line?
I panicked there. I thought the question was going to be, could we see Papa H like wrestling at WrestleMania? I was like, where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been, man? Yeah, I feel like now more than ever, it feels like we could be going that way. I kind of trust that Triple H, if he sees that as a real WrestleMania program, which it is, let's be honest, if it's going to go down, it should go down at WrestleMania, that match. I feel like the move now, Rey Mysterio going to SmackDown, feels like it's giving that a bit of time to breathe. Maybe he goes in a hell of a run without his son, without being attached to his son, wins the IC title, and Dominic just keeps getting booed out of the building on Raw, and then maybe they could converge and come together again near the Royal Rumble time. There's space for this. This is an example of what WWE can do. They just let things play out and just let them breathe.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, I think this move to SmackDown is a specific move to actually be able to do that as well, because it felt like, well, pretty much like what Ray said on SmackDown, about that it was all coming to a head, that he was going to have to wrestle him sometime soon. And so to get a bit of separation in that is necessary, because I don't think you can eke this out until WrestleMania if you were still doing weekly storylines with them both on the same brand. So separate them out a bit, get to the Royal Rumble, like you say, have Dominic chuck Ray out of the Royal Rumble. Easy peasy setup to start getting the seeds back together again, and then yeah, get it on WrestleMania. Like, personally, I think they should have won the tag titles at WrestleMania.
Oh, I'll never get over that. I'll never get over that.
Being on the SmackDown or something.
Yeah,
it was just such an easy win for just a really nice, feel good WrestleMania moment.
I remember that.
I don't know why they didn't do that.
It was the first event with actual crowds, and they got shoehorned onto the WrestleMania SmackDown, which was the last one with LED screens before that WrestleMania. It was like,
cool. That was such an easy win for a nice big feel-good moment. Nope. So yeah, get this match on there, and if it's Ray's career on the line, I've no idea where he's at in terms of his career, but he's definitely getting on a bit, but he's still incredible.
Yeah, look at that match last night.
Every single time, I have no idea how he moves as well as he does at his age. So I'll have to wait and see about that. But yeah, definitely Ray versus Dom at Mania. Bucket.
Yeah.
The next question comes from at Bergd_Durgan. Who says, build a perfect wrestler with the following 3 components: in-ring, mic game, entrance, theme song. Got to be a different wrestler for each.
Okay, will you be able to read the thing off and then I'll give you one? Because there was a lot there. There was a lot of different categories.
So, one person for in-ring.
Right, in-ring, I go Bryan Danielson right now.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with Bryan Danielson. Just to be different, I'll go Claudio Castagnoli.
Oh, why not? Yeah, so Blackpool Combat Club. There you go. Just take your pick.
Actually, no, I'll go Pac.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to argue with that.
Incredible.
The DDT King. What was the next one?
On the mic.
On the mic, MJF. Yeah. Sorry.
Fair. I was also going to go MJF, so I'll change that and I'll go The Rock. Why not? Imagine if The Rock could wrestle like Pac.
Oh, wow. Madness. What else we got?
An entrance stroke theme song.
Ooh, they're 2 very different things. See, but we'll try and keep them together.
Like as a combo.
Kenny Omega, because I just get hyped when I hear that battle cry. That gets me going.
Fair.
Yeah.
Not necessarily entrance song, but just general entrance. Weirdly, Mr. Kennedy. Why not? Is that thing with the mic coming down from the sky?
That'd really work.
That. I think that would work. Really good. And
with The Rock.
And then the skills of The Rock, and then he goes off and do flips like Pac. I would watch that man all day long.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'm up for that.
And the final question of the day comes from Cactus Jax, who says...
I thought you were going to have your dreams made then, feel like...
I know, comes from actual Cactus Jack. No, he says, if you could make one custom Lego set based on a legendary gimmick match, what would it be? His is TLC 2.
What a question.
That would be really good.
I was helping my nephew build his Lego TIE Fighter, so I'm very invested into this right now. I've just written a War Games list, which should either be live now or in the next couple of days, and then there'll be a video on it as well, so keep an eye out for that. So, obviously, I want a War Games Lego set, but I want the triple-tiered Cage War Games 2000 set, because I'm a Vince Russo masochist, I don't know.
Yeah, that was a mess. It would be fun, though. My mind immediately went to Hell in a Cell 98, King of the Ring, obviously. But then I thought, there's got to be something more interesting than that. So I'm going to go with the Boiler Room Brawl, Undertaker versus Mankind. Ooh. And then you get to build all the things in the Boiler Room, and that would be a much better set, I think.
Yeah, that'd be, I like that. Yeah, grungy. That'd be good.
Yeah. And then I just get to have a Lego Mankind, which is pretty much a dream.
There must be one out there. There must be one out there.
Probably. There is a woman on Twitter who does custom Lego figures for wrestling and stuff. I don't know if you've seen her. Can't remember her name. She's really good. I would shout her out if I could remember what she was called, but I can't remember.
Well, if anyone knows, put it in the comment section, because I'll tweet us with them.
Lego figures.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Comment down below what you think of all of today's stories, including Bray Wyatt's return and sort of debut-ish, I guess, back on Smackdown last night. Let us know what you thought of it all. And while you're at it, you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at PhilMyChambers. You can follow Gareth
at GMorgan04.
You can follow all of us at WhatCulture WWE. Ups and Downs for Smackdown and Rampage is on its way today, so make sure you keep an eye out for those and go watch loads more videos, because that's what YouTube likes you to do.
Yes.
But most importantly, have yourselves a bloody good day.
Bye-bye.